Hey everybody, my name is Jared LaRue, host of the Aftermarket Connection. Now, among other brands that we carry, such as Audiofrog or JL Audio that we've showcased in previous episodes, we have access to Arc Audio, a spectacular audio brand that makes not only exceptional speakers, but one of our favorite amplifiers, the Blackbird DSP amp that we used as the core of this build. Now, starting off with the speakers, the new Sierra trucks can come equipped with the factory Bose system, as this one did, which means it has a 6x9 inch woofer in the front door and a 2.75 inch mid-range speaker in each dash corner. One thing the setup is missing is a tweeter, or a dedicated high-range speaker to cover all the frequencies that regular woofers have a hard time playing. So to remedy that, along with changing out the factory speakers with premier options from Arc Audio and Audiofrog, we fabricated custom speaker pods to mount on the A-pillars, allowing for the addition of tweeters into the mix. In the doors, we chose the Arc Audio RS 6.0 woofer to replace the factory 6x9 speakers, a 6-inch woofer from the highest series that Arc Audio offers. One interesting thing about the reference series from Arc is that each speaker model uses a neodymium motor structure to allow for a much thinner mounting depth and an easier time installing in factory locations. To go along with the speakers in the doors, we chose the Audiofrog GB25 mid-range speaker to be mounted in the dash. Now, Arc does make the RS 3.0, a 3-inch speaker designed to match with the RS 6 used in the doors, but it being a 3-inch speaker made it just too big to fit in the factory 2.75-inch location without extensive modification. So we changed gears and went with the GB25, as it is designed to be an exact fit to many factory locations, including GM's. With the GB series being the premier option offered from Audiofrog, we didn't feel that going that direction would compromise at all on audio quality compared to going with the matching speaker from Arc, while also being a much easier install. To go in the tweeter pods made for the A-pillars, we went with the RS 1.0 reference tweeters from Arc, an Audiofrog grade 1-inch silk tone tweeter that pairs perfectly with the speakers used in the front of this truck. In the rear doors, we chose to go with the Arc Audio X2 602 coaxial speaker to replace the factory 6.5-inch woofers. Now, the X2 series is a couple steps down from the RS used in the front, but even still, it's an upgrade compared to the factory Bose speakers. One common misconception when it comes to upgrading a system is that you don't necessarily need to put as high-end speakers in the back as you do in the front. When you are sitting in the driver or passenger seat of the vehicle, a majority of the sound you hear is coming from the front speakers, and the rears are mainly there to help with fill, overall volume, and staging. So that's exactly what we did to try and stick to our customer's budget. When it came to choosing the subwoofer setup for this truck, one thing we had to keep in mind was that our customer frequently uses the back seats of his truck for storage on long road trips and didn't want to lose the ability to fold up at least one of his rear seats. So keeping that in mind, we went with two Arc Audio Arc Series 8-inch subwoofers in a custom ported enclosure that fit just underneath the 60 side of his rear bench, allowing for the customer to still fold up and use the 40 side without any issue. The Arc Series 8-inch sub is a great fit for this application, as even in a ported design, it requires very little airspace for the box, and it produces a very clear and clean bass, which pairs well with the higher end speakers mentioned earlier in the build. The box in question is also more than just a standard square box. With corners contoured to match the curve of the rear seats, one could mistake the box for factory if they didn't know what they were looking for. Mounted behind the rear seats are the main brains of the system, the two Arc Audio Blackbird DSP amps powering the front and rear speakers, as well as the two 8-inch subs in the back. The Blackbird is an 8-channel amplifier, delivering 75 watts per channel at 4 ohms, while also having an integrated 12-channel DSP, allowing you to not only individually adjust each speaker, but also tie in other amplifiers for systems bigger than what one Blackbird can power. The Blackbird can also take up to a 32-volt input, allowing it to be tied into almost any factory system without the need for replacing the radio or using an amp interface. Set up so that one amplifier powers the front speakers and the other has its channels bridged to power the rear speakers and the subs, the pair of Blackbirds delivers more than enough power to have a significant increase in volume over the factory Bose system. To help us tune the DSP and get the absolute most out of the system, we had our friends over at Arc Audio send out one of their master 12-volt installers to host a training day at our shop. Along with many technicians invited from other shops around Edmonton, our installers got a full day of training on the Arc Audio DSP system, which not only helps us better use the Blackbird amps in current and future builds, but also carry over many of the tips and tricks on the different DSP systems that we use, such as the Museway M12 featured in other episodes. All in all, doing a full system such as this is always a treat, as hearing such a major improvement over what the factory system system can offer is worth all the time and effort spent designing and installing new speakers, amplifiers, and subwoofers, especially for a customer who can now enjoy an upgraded listening experience on those long-haul road trips. As always, if you have any questions about this or any build featured or your personal vehicle, feel free to reach out to any of our salesmen here at Certified Radio at our Westside location or online at our website, certifiedradio.ca.